Hello, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to another week. OSPP Job Search Hacks. You guys already know the drill. Every Wednesday, we have a live where we're really going through some interview questions. Let's say I'm interviewing individuals and asking them great career questions and really getting to know what they do on a day-to-day basis, right? What are some of the tasks that they enjoy doing? What are some of the tasks that they don't enjoy doing? And also giving you guys alternative ideas of careers that you guys can really look into as you go forth in your career. So today, as you guys already know, we're going to have Marcus here today giving us a lot of gems in regards to his career, as well as how he navigated within his career. So be sure to request to jump in, Marcus. Come on in. And let's touch base on this great conversation. If you guys have any questions, be sure to ask. There is a question feature at the bottom, or you can also type it up in the comment section as well. But let's get Marcus in here. Oh, every single time I think I accept it, for some reason, it doesn't. So let's see. Okay, we got you in here.
Not much. You can hear me good?
What's up? Good. Everybody, are we good? Give us some likes if you guys can hear us. If you can't hear us, let us know in the comments down below. But for the people that don't know, let's start with your intro. Tell us a little bit about Marcus. Let's hear your elevator
pitch. My name is Marcus Gilmore. I am a Texas native living in NYC, working in brand sponsorships and partnerships for some of the top brands in the U.S. Been in the business for, 8 or 9 years, doing just cool stuff all around. Working on festivals from McDonald's All-American Game to Super Bowl. It's been a whirlwind for sure, but it's been really good and a great journey so far.
Yeah, definitely. And for those who don't know who I am, I'm Sophia. I own OSPP Resume Writing, but I've been doing these OSPP job search tips, hacks live since the beginning of this year, just to give anyone who is currently on the job search some tips and also some, once again, different options of careers that you guys can pursue. So be sure to ask questions once again. So let's get into, let's say, when you pursued your bachelor's degree. Let's go back to that. What made you pursue your bachelor's degree?
Hilarious. Yeah. First off, thank you for having me. And, I'm glad to not only be a part of this conversation, but also be a customer of yours as well, and a partnership for multiple years. So thank you for that. Man, when I look back at college, like at the University of North Texas, and I decided to go into television, radio, television, and film. That's what I got my bachelor's in. It was really my inspiration of how I grew up. From like 9 or 10, I worked at my church to do working on the camera and worked in radio. So that was really what I wanted to do. And I got to North Texas and was able to get into that major. And truthfully, when I did that, I didn't realize how much time it would take to get into on at a TV show or at a network, because you don't realize how many hours is required. But nonetheless, after I finished school, I ended up getting on at NBC5, where I worked over the weekend. And then during the week, I worked for a guy named Tom Joyner, one of radio's most, he's a gem. He's a historian and also a legend in his own right. But was able to, be under his brand under his foundation for 3 years. So I was able to see what I had learned in college in real life, and being able to tap in from a social media marketing campaign standpoint. So I worked 2 jobs right out of school and staying still in the space. And I look back now and I don't know how I did it, but it happened for sure.
No, and to be honest, it's like everything has its own way of working out in a certain way, right? So it's not like you didn't leverage that broadcast experience. So let's get into some of the, let's say, projects that you've also accumulated on the side so that you can really live through that purpose of journalism,
Yeah,
broadcasting,
great question
etc.?
because
Yeah.
some of the things that I was able to do with my broadcast background was I launched my first company and still today my only company, and I'm at and
Hmm.
it was because I had that insight into working at an NBC5 and being able to understand how media worked at a super fast pace. So I launched my own media company and started off through websites, and it's called theculturesupplier.com. That website still exists to this day, and I was able to bring in writers from the Dallas area and begin to cover events and have stories and. Uh, I still shout out a lot of my first writers who joined me and believed in the vision and followed events and captured content that way for me to really push the website. And the Culture Supplier goal was to supply the culture with things and information around sports, music, fashion, really using the voice of the culture to lead the platform in a positive way. It's no mess. It was no gossip. And still to this day, I don't put any of that kind of content out through that platform. And it's it was it actually allowed me to learn how to fill out media requests to get into concerts, fill out media requests to get into events because I had a platform and I had a reason, but I didn't know how to pitch for um, different passes. But once I learned, now I can hire photographers to go to these events, and I have photographers go to shows to capture content. And then I learned how to report that back to the outlet. So it was a lot of those little things that I learned to help me where I am today when I still work on festivals and music experiences, but from a different lens. But now I have that in my background or understand what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. And, it's like sometimes we don't realize why we, let's say, have this calling to do these particular projects, right? But then we execute it and then we learn things from it and even build partnerships, right? You are still in contact with a lot of the individuals that were writing content for your platform, etc. So, if you ever need them, I'm sure that
Yeah,
they're
they
always be
always
able
are,
to
and
assist you,
that
right?
like you, I believe that there was a reason that I went through the journey that I have gone through so far, and being able to not only
Mhm.
keep the 9 to 5 rocking, but lean into the things that I enjoy and use my skill sets not only to further my business or my capabilities, excuse me, but also be able to tap in with my community and be able to figure out like I help a lot of small businesses and podcast shows to, work on their marketing campaigns because I literally every single day wake up and work on campaigns. So it's being able to take that information and help them and pass that information along. So it's there's a reason, right? And I lean into that reason for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So now let's kind of touch base on, all right, so you painted the picture when you left college, you had your 2 jobs that you worked. At that point, were you excited to learn the things that you were doing? Or did you feel like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm trying to be somewhere else and I'm
You
frustrated in the
know,
current position that I'm in?
there was a natural frustration just because you always want to keep going forward. I will say this, like my mom and my dad, they're always like, you were there for a reason. Did I get paid a large salary during my first jobs? No, but the access that I
Mhm.
got to work with a Dick Gregory or a Pops from John Witherspoon, or like being able to tap into these type of talent and learn how to write scripts from them, be on them and pitch a
Mhm.
script and they read it and then edit it down and get it to my boss and stuff like that. And, right out of college at 25, 24 years old, like you don't get that kind of opportunity and not fan out because you see like, the people that you see on screen, like that's just rest in peace, but like
Yeah.
legends, right?
Legends.
There
Legends.
was a moment where like I said, I was at Tom Joyner. I went on his cruises, which is all black cruise, like full 7 days. It goes around the Caribbean and things like that. And while I was there, I realized, okay, this is great to know, but I have to take another step, and that's going into an advertising agency. Like, how can I get there and learn at that speed, and work on campaigns for different clients? So I say that to say I took a lot of shots especially in the hometown of Dallas. Like, that's my home, so I always felt like I didn't think I was going to leave Dallas. Um, I applied, get so far and get denied. Well, one day I was at work and I saw an email come across, and it was about a apprenticeship. I'm like, damn, I don't really know what apprenticeship is. I feel like I could make it happen depending on how it is. So this program is called Verizon Ad Fellows at the time, and it was an apprenticeship. They would move you to New York, and you would get a stipend, you get paid, and you would go to 5 agencies months. I'm like,
Nice.
oh no, I'm gonna just apply. I said I'm gonna just apply and see what happens. I apply. I fly to New York. One day, I've never been to New York. My parents have never been to New York. So I'm just going. I take a bag. I call off from work. I go to New York. I do the interview, and some of those people that were in my group, they're still my friends today. We text. We always chat. And I come back home, and I tell my parents, like, yeah, I went to New York, like, for the day. And first off, that's the dream, right? Like, you just fly to New York. But it was never my dream to go to New York or come here where I am right now. And then I was selected for the program. And I remember distinctively, and I tell my dad this all the time, and he kind of like, whatever. And they're always supportive, but they were like, are you sure you want to give up your full-time job and go
Pursue your dreams?
They only saw it as an internship. Where you're going to stop getting a check and you're going to go somewhere else, and you don't know if you're going to get a job after you finish the program? I said, when you put it like that, I don't know, but I feel like I am. Like, I'm going to take this leap and move to New York and go through this program. It took 8 months. My roommate, who's my friend today, lives in LA. If I go to LA right now, I can call him and we going out or hanging out, whatever. My group mates that were in the program with me, like, we talk to each other every single day still to this day, because I just decided to take on that opportunity. And moral of the story is, like, there's going to be this weird door opportunity that you can take to go to the next level. You turn your back on it, and you'll never know what happened if you went through that door, but you could walk through and it could possibly change your life. And you can always go somewhere else, but, like, it may change your life for the good.
Exactly. Well, anything, right? It's like any opportunity can have a downfall to it. And after that internship, you could have said, you know what? I don't even want to even do that in terms of my career, but it was still a learning lesson. You got to go to New York and, like, experience different life. But you've been touching on a lot of things as you've been communicating about your previous ventures and your current ventures, is like your network, right? Still being able to build those networks, nurture those networks, and really grow an organic relationship with those people that really have helped you maneuver within your career, right?
To be honest, like, people always say network. When they say network, and there are all these sayings around your network, right? But when I think about, like, being able to right now call a friend and be like, hey, what campaign y'all working on for Super Bowl? I can do that, right? And that's me keeping my lateral conversations and my peer-to-peer networking a priority. And it is not, I don't push it down. Like, it is important for me to write a list of people, on Sunday, to be like, yo, hit up so-and-so, hit up so-and-so. And that's not it's a relationship building thing. We all busy. So, like, as an adult, I got to write your name down. Like, I do need to text you and say what's up and show some love. because I genuinely thank you for our relationship and want to continue to cultivate that. And I think that that's so important when you're searching for jobs and looking for career jumps. And you know, you can hit up a friend and you see a role and you say, hey, what's popping over there? Like, is it straight? Like, are they cashing out for a check, or they, you know, what's the relationship from a leadership perspective? Like, and you can get that insight because you keep those relationships with people who are in your circle.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, that also makes me think about LinkedIn, right? Let me ask your perspective in regards to LinkedIn, right? As you're,
Listen, you know,
listen, people don't realize, listen, I've been on LinkedIn before the hype was even a hype. Okay. And I've been telling people to be on LinkedIn. I told my clients for several years to
yeah.
be on LinkedIn. Okay. And now people are starting to understand that it's really a gold mine. It's just how you leverage the platform. So let's touch base on how you have leveraged LinkedIn in some of your
I have been
ventures.
probably heavy on LinkedIn probably for the last 8 years. I would say 7. I'll say 7 years. But in the last 3, it has been a content focus driven. Like for me, when I think about like my goals for the week or goals for the month, it is LinkedIn is on there. It is 2 organic posts, 5 reshares. If you go to my page right now, you'd be like, dang, Marcus just shared this. But I know that the algorithm is leaning towards my my consumption, but also like if I want to be recognized to get a speaking gig, if I want speaking gigs, if I want to become a judge for any award shows, or if I want to, you know, get featured in a book, like I am constantly working on thought leadership on LinkedIn. It's the wild, wild west. Like I can post a video and it don't go anywhere, but I can do 3 sentences on Pharrell, which I did, like Pharrell signing over to become a brand partner for Louis V and leading their their men's fashion department, creative direction, and the posts just go crazy. Impressions, comments, share. I'm like, God damn, like that's what I'm talking about. And but for me, like every couple of weeks, like I'll go on my page, make sure my headline, I may change it. I may switch from brand partners and marketing, brand partnership. Yesterday I added Shorty Awards judge. So now when people see my page, they know that I'm a judge on one of the premier award shows for the advertising industry. Like I am constantly using that because the eyes change every single day. And it's a place that I like to play in. It's the wild, wild west for sure. And, you know, we see content on there. So I know I see your stuff. So it's.
Yeah, but it's also like not feeling afraid to use the platform, right? It still has that iffiness, right? Where people are like, I'm engaged, like for me, for instance, I get way more engagement when I post polls than when I post regular content, because people are very scared to use the platform because, and I've heard from clients, their bosses will say things like, you know, don't be too persistent on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like they're watching people, right? Which kind of removes the fun of like using a social media platform to build your network as I'm using it for my network. I'm not using it for, let's say, Cigna's network, right? So also keeping in mind that, let's say you, right, you're doing a lot of brand partnerships. You leveraging LinkedIn could also be a boost for the company that you decide to join.
I think that you make a great point, because I wonder if the like internal influencers, right? Like my content could get so much awareness. Like, can I become that internal influencer where like the story things and I'm the one that externally shares to talk about the company? I think that that's a wave that's on the way from a work standpoint. Because imagine if you work at TikTok and like, but your TikToks go crazy and you are already there. Like, I'm gonna just share it with you, and they can post it. Like LinkedIn is. I hate that people feel like they don't know what to do on there. I think removing the mindset that it's so business heavy, but thinking about like, how can the things that interest me, how can I turn them into like professional content, right? Like Rihanna performing, but even just not even talking about, if I'm a choreographer and I want to show my thought leadership in choreography, I just take her content and be like, talk about her choreography or picking set designs and all of that on LinkedIn. Now set designers that are big time set designers, they come to me and be like, oh, she knows, he or she knows what they're talking about from a content perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And that's also the usage of the platform, is like being able to connect with people that are industries that you also have interest in, because that also helps for you to fall a little bit more in line, but also to get that recognition for your page and what you do, right? Because you never know, someone who's doing the set might need, or let's say a conversation comes up and say, hey, we need somebody with Marcus's credentials. And then, oh, actually, I just discovered somebody's page last week. Let me see if this is something that interests them, right? And that's why, I mean, listen, I've been in the resume writing business for 12 plus years. I get hit up for clients. I get hit up by companies now who want me to be their resume writers. I get hit up for a bunch of stuff, right? But that's because I share consistent content in relation to my industry. I'm also supporting a lot of people in my industry. So you have to think about, are you walking in your path every single day, from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc.? Like, let's talk about a little bit about your TikTok, right? Like, you are also leveraging your personal page, but also merging a lot of the things that you do on a day-to-day for your job, the things you enjoy doing, which you never know where that could get picked up. So what made you kind of say, you know what, let me get on TikTok and start creating some content?
I was an early adopter of TikTok first phase, and then the second phase of last year's what TikTok looked like last year, and the algorithm and how it the rhythm of it, it was not and it's actually 2021, but it was not as frequent. People didn't understand, so I would just, like, again, it goes back to my major. I shot like, I would shoot shorts, like I would call them MG shorts Sundays. It was my way of telling my story of living in New York, but in this really quirky, artsy kind of way, and it was using a lot of edits and stuff. But I was testing the platform out, and then I started realizing, you know, why people come to my page, or what is the conversation that people always want to have with me. And it's like, yo, you're always doing something in New York. Or if it's people from different cities, like, hey, what's popping in NYC? I'm on the way. So I realized, okay, I can talk about New York in that kind of way. So I started Black Man Vibing. Like, it's just me going to the latest, you know, event, or if it's a brand event, or if it's, I go to a lot of music experiences and, you know, DJs. So like being able to capture that and telling that story, you know, use your image the way you're like, hey, I look fly, so we're gonna tap it, but also tell the story of New York and food and things like that. And then on the flip side, I realized that from an experiential and marketing space and advertising space, people don't know a lot about it. They like, what is experiential? And it's like, an experience. I help you understand things about the brand by going through or touching it, smelling it, seeing it in a real life moment. Start capturing that content. Now I'm learning how to tell the story a little bit better. I'm practicing. I'm putting more of that out, and leaning into the trends from TikTok of being able to be more of a voiceover story. And so that's what I continue to do, like events and experiential, like tell that story of why, you know, what is going on in the experiential space or marketing space. So I do both, right? Personal and professional, and I mix them together.
Exactly. But and that's what I like to talk about a lot on this platform too, because sometimes people get so stuck in, all right, I've been applying to jobs for 2 years. I can't find a job to be a marketing director or a marketing associate or a marketing consultant, right? Let's say also they're transitioning into the space. You can create these opportunities for yourself, okay? That also helps for you to understand analytics, understand different technologies, understand what certifications are out there, etc. Because if it's something that you really, really want to do or have an interest in, you could already be
such a fact. And
navigating.
like with
Yeah.
TikTok, there's a couple people that I follow, and I don't like shouting people out, not because I don't like to, it's because I forget names. And but I'll there's a there's
It's
this
okay.
one woman, her graphics are fire, and I'm just gonna create this is a fake campaign for whatever, and actually I have a coworker that does the same thing, where they'll just create fake campaigns and then put it out, and now they're building their portfolio and building their awareness about the skill set they have, and being able to show off like, yo, I have these skills, and you can, because I saw it on TikTok, it goes viral, and now you may get picked up by a brand to say, hey, do you want to do this for us? It may be a contract, it may be whatever, but your exposure to just trusting to show off what you're doing in a non-conventional way will allow you to learn about what you do.
And that kind of, I like the Know For Sure podcast because I'm all about healing and all that stuff. I used to have a podcast that I haven't been keeping up to date, but they recently had Abracadabra. I
Oh
think
no,
that's his name. I don't know if you know who that is. I don't really know too much about him, but basically he used to work in the music industry and then navigated to just doing his own separate thing where he's like really investing in helping others to their dreams. So he used to be like a millionaire and said, hey, I'm done with that lifestyle in terms of like selling my soul technically in that realm, and then said, let me be in a different position, etc. But all in all, he always had this calling to be an athlete, right? He always wanted to be a basketball player, etc. However, because of his weight, he never could actually pursue that career. So what happened was he actually decided to venture out and create his own type of Nike commercial, right? Because Nike wasn't really going to hire them to do their own campaign, right? So he recorded this whole thing, posted on his Instagram, and Nike actually reached out to him and said, hey, we
wow.
want you to be a part of our
See,
next
like
campaign.
that's unconventional
See how it
promotion of
happened?
yourself, and that is okay. Like, it's so many avenues, from YouTube to LinkedIn to TikTok. Like, use them, use and use, like,
Yep.
if you see something cool, and I've done this too from a hacking standpoint. It's like I get on LinkedIn or I look at a company, and I may not, it's not even about a job. It's just like, again, it's about for me networking, but like, I'll go look at that job, look at who works there, send them a message. Hey, what's up? Like, I want to see you work in the industry. Let's tap in. Don't have to, and they may not respond, but the more I do that, the comfortable I become to making those connections. I do it on Instagram. I do it on here on Instagram. I do it on LinkedIn because of the pandemic. We are now a little bit more comfortable with our online connections and just starting them off that way. So go ahead and lean into that and use it to your ability, or use it to your to win, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I know we've kind of been going on a tangent, etc., but I want to also navigate into
Yeah.
some of the things that you're currently working on, right? So let's say, what does a
Right
day-to-day life
now it's
look
crazy.
like?
I'm getting ready for the 2023 McDonald's All-American Games. It's going to take place in Houston. So it has been, I work on the activation side for creating events that happen in the city prior. And so kind of really developing those. And so a day to day for me is like, outside of, I have learned how to, block my calendar off to work on the things that I need to work on. So I definitely calendar hack. I love the word hack right now. So we're going to use calendar hack and block things off. But my day starts with if looking at my meetings for the day, but then having conversations with at least 5 different departments, and then plus client conversations that I may have throughout the day. And it's really trying to stay on track with work back schedules and things like that. But I talk from social teams to PR to talent, to creative to brand production. And then flip over that and go into maybe a business pitch that I was in actually today. And then, I'll talk to the client 3 or 4 times throughout the day on different things because I work on multiple work streams. So that's what the day looks like. And again, my mind is set on the launch date of a couple events in March. So that's what I'm always working towards. And then also building out things for the summertime as well as the fall. So it's a lot of, not forecasting, but building for later on in the year, but also these immediate projects that are coming up here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely. And if anyone else wants to ask any questions, be sure to hurry up and drop it on because we're going to close this out. But what I've been always at, well, let's say what I've been asking a lot of people who've been doing the live, I always ask them, what can we expect? What are some of the things you're working on in 2023?
I love that. Let's keep it to right here.
2024, if you want to go there.
I won't touch on too much. I'll say this, like 2023, I'm super excited about completing my master's degree at the University of Alabama, and you know, taking it a step further in the marketing industry and just doubling down on the thing that I love to wake up and do. I am looking forward to releasing my first book and my first piece of literature. I'm gonna say that, and I'm
okay.
Huh?
Let's do a swap then. Update, free book.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I want mine signed.
So I'm gonna remember that too. So that's something that I have my eyes on, and then towards the end of the summer is a opening up for clients in 2023 to 2024. So opening my marketing consulting cohort. I had it open for a little bit, but I've made school a priority, and I could not balance it all. Balance is key because I couldn't do it all. But wanting to, you know, open that space up and work with some really cool clients from a marketing consulting standpoint, and help some campaigns get across the finish line. So that is the three things that are top of mind professionally, socially, and just continue to evolve. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this live. I'm sure a lot of people got some gems. I surely did. I always watch these things over and over again. I'm like, wow, this is such a great conversation. And for the people that tune in, you guys get all this free knowledge. Okay,
it was so free, but it was.
Yeah, and be sure to follow Marcus on any of his platforms because he has so many, and then also be sure to follow my page. But looking forward to seeing how you progress throughout the year.
We'll be in touch.
We're going to be in touch. All right, y'all, have a great night.
No problem.
Thank you so much for joining.